And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. A question for the couples watching. Have you ever considered switching up your sleeping arrangement? TV show host Carson Daly from The Today Show says he and his wife don't share beds all the time. And he says he's completely happy sleeping solo some nights and makes their marriage even stronger. It may sound unconventional, but my next guest says Carson and his wife may be onto something if there aren't serious underlying problems while you're sleeping apart.
We can remember the old school TV shows like Ozzie and Harriet, and there would be two different beds there, one for husband, one for wife, and we kind of got away from that, and everybody wants to get in that California king size and end up sleeping on the couch any damn way. So what about this theory that sleeping apart, for some couples, it makes their marriage stronger?
So if somebody has a sleep issue, either they're snorers or maybe they're slappers, like they flap their arms around, they're up and down in the bed and they're constantly disrupting their spouse while they're in the bed, then yes, what that does is create resentment, that creates frustration, and honestly, a cranky individual because you're not getting your sleep. And as everyone knows, like if you're not getting your good amount of sleep, it affects so many things in your life. It affects your work day, your health, your mental health. So for, this movement of like, hey, if you're not a good sleeper and I am a good sleeper, we need to figure out something to work out on. I think that it may be helpful for some couples, but not everybody.
Now, what about those couples who choose to sleep apart, not because of a sleep issue, but because of the relationship? I can recall, and I had two sets of grandparents in one house, one set of grandparents, they had two different rooms, but they were together forever until they both died.
Well, the question is, were they happy with each other? Was the relationship?
Don't do my grandparents like that.
If it was a
wrong for that. All I remember is happy days. I was a kid.
Yeah, of course it was happy. But if they were happy with that arrangement and they felt like that worked for them, I always say kudos. Because like I've always said, your relationship is your family. It's your village. So you have to protect it. And if you sleeping in separate beds is the best thing for you, you have your room, you could decorate it the way you want to, and he has his room, and it kind of feels like your own little haven within your same house, then I say, why not? Now, if you're sleeping apart because there is something wrong, or there is, I don't like you, I don't want to be next to you, I don't want you to touch me, then there is a bigger issue going on. And I do not recommend sleeping apart because all that doing is creating more space where there's already space. So it just really depends on the condition of your marriage at that time.
And of course, if you're sleeping apart and you don't like each other, but you end up staying in the same house, then you can have a long marriage that looks happy, but it's not actually happy.
Exactly. What happens behind closed doors is very important. And if you're not catering and taking care of what's happening in closed doors, it doesn't matter what you're doing outside in the world because you're not really happy together.
Well, what if you're the husband or the wife or what have you in the relationship and you just may want a little break sometimes? And you don't want to permanently sleep apart, maybe a day or two during the week.
I don't see anything wrong with that, but I guess the question would always be, what is the reason for the break? If it's just because I need some space, I need some me time, I've had a hard week, I need to kind of regenerate and get myself together, I say, why not? I mean, you're going to be together for a very long time, having a couple of nights away, or even like just take a staycation and go stay at a hotel for a weekend or something. I think that's actually very healthy to do. I mean, I love you, but I don't want to see you 24/7. We need some distance. We need some time apart so I can actually miss you again.
Important point.
Exactly.
Dr. Angela Jones, always good to see you here on The Factor Uncensored. For those who would like to get some important advice from you, where can they find you?
You can go to my website at angelajonesphd.com or Dr. Angela Jones.